Welcome back, citizens of De Niro Nation, to All Mic'd Up, our podcast within a podcast where anything goes. And this week, that premise is taken to its absolute breaking point. I'm Mike back at you, here to introduce a very special episode featuring friend of the pod and recent guest, Philip, aka Lips. Earlier this week, we released an episode on the 1999 film Analyze This. During the recording, I debuted a news segment, what I thought would be a quick, harmless bit called Pizza Takes, where I invited Mike and Philip to defend some of their more controversial pizza opinions. I assumed it would take a few minutes, nothing more than a light warm-up or palate cleanser. What actually happened was something far more audacious, far more unhinged, and far too long to remain a simple intro segment. So we did the only responsible thing. We spun it off into its own episode. This is Pizza Takes. Please enjoy. Before we get into this film, though, I do just want to take a moment to discuss how we watched this film. Philip, you watched it on your own, so if you have any comments about that experience, I'm happy to hear them. But Mike and I actually had the opportunity to watch this together last night. We used the projector up on one of the walls in my apartment, and we got some pizza beforehand. Here's the thing. I would like to introduce a brief new segment I like to call Pizza Takes.
Pizza.
Because the two of you yesterday both separately presented me with pizza takes that I thought were a little crazy. So I just want to ask for some clarifying, thoughts on these. Would you like to start with you, Philip, or with you, Mike? Philip, you can pick. You're the guest.
You can have at me. I know where you're going with this, so go right ahead.
I am so fascinated to understand what I could possibly have said to you yesterday that would even push the envelope, let alone be crazy or whatever, however you described it. But yeah, let's hear what Philip said.
Yeah, you wait your turn, okay? I'm asking Philip the questions right now. Yesterday, I asked Philip for a recommendation on a local pizzeria because I knew that we were going to share a pie. And Philip replied, "All pizza is the same." Yeah, Mike just made a visible reaction.
And you think there's something that I said that was any more than 10% as crazy as that? That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life, honestly.
Both takes were so hot that I thought that they had just come out of a piping hot pizza oven.
Jesus, all right. I mean, I must have been in a fucking fugue state or something. But Philip, I think that the take's absurdity stands on its own. It hardly even needs to be explained. Well, defend yourself.
Here's the thing about my hot takes. Like a pizza out of the oven, they come out piping, but over time they start to cool off. In this case, as I sort of walk back the initial heat of it.
So it's not that the take cools, because I think in classical, conversation terms, you would think that the take cooling would mean that over time, its receivers would perceive it as cooler. And this take is not going to cool with time. I think what you're saying is that you're going to change the take. Like you're going to come back with a cooled down version of the take for us.
Sounds like he has a cooled down version.
Like a pizza out of the oven. It comes out hot for you guys to handle. And so it can't be consumed then. But over time and, with explanation, it meets this perfect point where it is both what I want it to be and easily consumed by you. And I think we can get there with my pizza take.
Okay. I can't wait
so what's your take?
To make an attempt at this. Yeah, let's hear it.
So my walking it back, my cooling it off is to say that increasingly over the last few years, in particular in our city, there have come, more gourmet specialty pizza places that offer a very different pizza. I cannot blanket say, as I did fresh out of the oven, that all pizza tastes the same.
24 hours ago. A lot of restaurants popped up.
Yeah, my God, the Rochester, New York pizza shop scene is fucking popping off right now. 50 new pizzerias have opened in the past 24 hours.
Absolutely. Now, having said that, I think that in general, the bulk of pizza places are not dissimilar to Chinese food in this country, where though they're all independently owned and operated and not affiliated, the sesame chicken you get at one is going to be like the sesame chicken you get at the other. I come with this opinion thinking that I was at Chester Cab once, waiting for my pizza, watching them make it. And what is the pizza that they make there? The dough is the same ingredients. and then they open up a can of sauce. They put the sauce on top, and they take cheese and put it on.
Yeah.
And then they put it in the oven and they take it out. It's that simple. How could it be different if each place, other than the special fancy gourmet places, are just using a slightly different tomato and slightly different cheese, slightly different dough? What is the difference? What makes this pizza different from that when it's the same 4 ingredients?
Tell me what's going on in your head right now. I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off right there. So, like, how are you doing emotionally as you say this out loud? Are you realizing how silly it is, or are you feeling just as sure about it after you've said it?
No, I'm feeling pretty solid.
Philip stands by the courage of his convictions.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the same.
All right, Mike, go ahead. Yep.
ingredients.
I have a lot to say, but Mike, you go ahead. I needed to know as I coalesced my point, like where Philip was. It sounded like he was faltering a little bit, but no, full veracity. Like, yeah, yep.
Use 4 ingredients.
Okay. Yep.
Well, I think at the risk of sounding like Hank Hill, you're being asinine, Philip. Listen, yes, overall, you can broadly state that the ingredients are the same, but different styles of pizza have different ingredient compositions for the dough. Different types of mozzarella are used, different types of tomatoes for the sauce, different methods of cooking, different crust thicknesses, the difference between Sicilian versus New York versus Detroit versus Chicago. I mean, those are all very different styles of pizza, both in terms of taste and texture and ratios of ingredients. I don't know. I don't know if I can get on board with this scalding hot take. What about you, Mike? What do you want to say before we get to you?
The take is so absurd that it's almost challenging to engage with it in good faith, because it's hard to read it as a good faith take. I mean, Mike just described it like unimpeachably. It's a relatively undebatable point. To Mike's point, like, yeah, it's the same 4 ingredients in the same way that every car is the same as every other car. It's like, yes, if you boil something down, right? So think about in metaphysics, there's this concept, right? It's called in metaphysics, there's this concept, right? It's called Aristotelian substance theory. Okay. And so substance theory is about categorization and understanding what qualities we use to describe objects in the universe. And so a core concept of substance theory is the idea of essence versus accident, right? And so if you talk about a car, like, what are a car's essential qualities and what are its accidental qualities? Its essential qualities are that it has at least 3 wheels, right? But usually 4, because it's not a motorcycle, it's a car, that it has a motor that drives the car in at least 2 directions, that it can steer, and it has a seat, and so, yes, I suppose that if we apply that sort of substance theory model to something like pizza, then yes, you could say, like, yeah, all pizzas are basically like a carb, a cheese, a vegetable, like usually a tomato, and like toppings of some kind. But yeah, those aren't the only essential qualities of the pizza. Like the thickness of the dough is also essential to categorizing a pizza and the way we think about it. How much it's cooked is also essential. The acidity of the sauce, the thickness of the pepperoni, how much flour is in the dough. Is it a more oil-based dough or is it a less oily dough? Like, have you ever had a Little Caesars pizza? You think that when you have a Little Caesars pizza, that it has more in common, with Dragonfly pizza than it diverges from it? That's I don't know. That's silly. I don't even know. I feel like we're not speaking the same language if we're on opposite sides of this disagreement.
We're all half Italian here. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a hung jury. Philip, do you have any closing remarks before we move over to Mike's indiscretion?
No, I don't think so. Those are all sound opinions, and I partially agree and partially retain my view, because I just think if I go out there now, if I go through the Rochester Yellow Pages for pizza places and select 5 pizza places at random, and I get a slice from each, and I consume those, I will say those were the same slices of pizza. And I just feel that I won't see any difference between them.
I am 100% confident. I would literally stake my life on this, that if you gave me Pizza Hut, Mark's Pizzeria, Little Caesars, Domino's, Papa John's, and 2 or 3 pizza places that are independent in Rochester, I mean this. I would bet my life on it. I could blind taste test identify every single one. They are that different from each other. I would bet my life on it.
All right, citizens, it's up to you. Please weigh in at ourherodeniro@gmail.com. Let us know what side of the debate you fall on. Mike, I guess to tee
I
up,
can't wait to hear what I said that is in the same category of severity as this.
It's not,
this
it's
one of
not
the
as
hottest takes I've
severe.
heard
Phillips
in
was
recent
much more severe, but I'm going to tee this up with a very brief.
I will inform him of how asinine it is. I'll get my revenge.
We'll see, Ray Wenge.
It means omerta. It means Ray Wenge.
I just want to tee this up with a little anecdote. Yesterday afternoon, because we were watching the film at my place, we discussed splitting a pizza at one of the local pizzerias. We settled on a place, and Mike was working at the office, so I sent him a screenshot of the menu. And I asked very kindly, very graciously, because I am just a very giving host who would do anything to make his guests feel comfortable. What would you prefer in terms of pizza size, toppings, and sauce? And Mike said his only preference was red sauce. Okay. But otherwise, I was free to choose the size and the toppings. So there were 2 size options. I went for the smaller of the 2 because I didn't want, a ton of pizza leftovers, just a simple pepperoni pizza from around the corner. So we go to pick this pizza up. Mike meets me, at my place, and we walk into the pizzeria, and there's one guy working there, really nice. And I tell him, like, hey, I'm here to pick up a small pizza for Mike. And the guy goes to get it, and Mike starts bickering with me about this, that I purchased the incorrect size of pizza. So he and I just start arguing about it in front of this poor employee. And I tell Mike, I'm like, listen, I asked you what size you wanted. And he's like, yeah, I just thought you would make the right choice. And we bickered so much that the guy ended up giving us free pizza on top of the pizza that I ordered, which is very funny. It's like, the bickering really actually got us.
We should have told him about
stuff.
The podcast, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I could have mentioned that we were going to do pizza takes on this week's episode. But yes, we got the pizza. It was all well and good. But I want to come back to that statement about the sauce. Mike wanted red sauce. He said, and I quote, "I don't believe in pink sauce."
Yeah.
And I just have to say, I strongly disagree with that. I love pink sauce. I always get it when it's an option. You mix that classic red tomato sauce with the garlicky white sauce. So, Mike, can you defend this heinous opinion?
I can actually, and it's gonna fall down to taste, but I think I can mount a pretty rational, pretty informed by sort of culinary thinking on my perspective. I think that the contrast between the acidity and sweetness of the tomato sauce and some of the more savory flavors of the cheese, the toppings, and in a good pizza, which Dragonfly is, the dough, which will have some salt in the dough, is essential. And I think that pink sauce, it messes with that essential contrast between the sweet acidity of the sauce and the savory rest of it. Garlic is too savory. The sauce as a base should not have that as part of it. So that is my reason. That's my reasoned explanation of why I feel that way.
Philip, how do you feel about pink sauce? Where do you come down on this issue?
Honestly, I don't.
Can't taste that either.
It's been right in pink.
Well, hold on. Okay.
I mean, listen. What did you think? You asked the guy who thinks all pizzas are the same to weigh in on this disagreement.
Okay. So purely out of curiosity, Philip, do you feel that you are generally discerning when it comes to food and or drink? Like, can you tell the difference between? I don't even know what to use it as. I would use coffee as an example because I know you drink Keurig coffee. So can you tell the difference between like a Keurig coffee that you make at home or at the office versus like when we go to a cafe and you get a coffee?
Something really good
Not so
at like a
much,
cafe.
no. And
okay.
No, I'll give you that.
Okay, well, I don't know. I guess it's a hung jury on both of these issues.
Well, I don't know. I want to know. I mean, Mike, are you compelled by my explanation?
I think it's a reasonable explanation. I just disagree. I just like that garlicky flavor. You add a little. I don't want it all garlicky. I don't want it all white. But I want some of that mixed into the red.
Yeah, white sauce is totally non grata to me. Like you do not do that. White sauce is a sin. Pink sauce, I'd prefer not to do, but at least it has some tomato in it. I think tomato sauce is totally essential to pizza. I don't do like buffalo chicken pizza. I don't do pizza with white sauce. Like that's fucking bullshit. That's a flatbread. Pizza needs to have tomato sauce as its base. That is a belief. that I have. But even this fundamentally lays bare the absurdity of Philip's argument, because we're talking about how there are different sauce options that you can get on a pizza. So how can every pizza be the same? You can get a different sauce.
We're all God's children.
My hot take
It fundamentally changes the experience of the food.
My hot take is born out of the frustration of going from place to place to place to place in this city and just being so incredibly bored with every single thing that is given to me. Maybe it's not at all taste the same, but it doesn't reach a level of flavor that is worthy of my taking note of it. And so it's just nothing. And to me, it just feels the same nothing. It's just nothingness. That's how it's the same.
I think you're just not very discerning about food. I think Mike's right. That's okay. That's just something about you. But it does render your perspectives on it in conversation with a broad group of people moot, unfortunately. You know, surely there are things like that. Like, there are things that I either am not predisposed to have sensitivity to or have no experience with. And I would just invite you to completely disregard my opinion on all those topics. Like, right?
I don't know. I think this has been a really great segment, and I want to close it out with 3 rapid fire takes. So I am going to ask a question.
Oh yeah, you have to share some hot takes you have, Mike. If you're going to blow us up, give us a you hot take.
I don't have any pizza hot takes.
You just embarrassed both of us by sharing these things that we told you in confidence.
Yeah. This is because I am an incredible podcast host who comes prepared with questions teed up to inspire deep conversation. You're welcome to do
Mike's
that.
Hot
you
take.
host half of the episodes.
Hey guys, why don't you guys write in and tell us at ourherodeniro@gmail.com. Do you think that Philip is right that all pizza is the same? Do you think that I am right that pink sauce is by definition inferior to red sauce? And do you think Mike is right that he's an incredible podcast host? Write in and answer all 3 of those questions, please. ourherodeniro@gmail.com.
Well, Mike the Fab, next week when you are the host of the episode, presumably Silver Linings Playbook, I want you come prepared to roast Mike back at you on some hot take he has, to grill into him, to get our revenge.
Ray Wenge.
I don't remember the things that Mike has said that I've thought were absurd. I forget those things. I choose to think the best of people.
It's really sweet of you. I want to close this segment out with 3 rapid fire takes. So I'm just going to ask the question, and then I want Mike to answer, and then Philip to answer, and then I will answer. Okay? You ready?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Philip, you ready? I need a verbal confirmation.
I'm ready.
Okay. Question 1. Best type of pizza?
I prefer a medium to thick, salty crust, high olive oil content, red sauce, high acidity, a little spicy, light cheese with pepperoni and a vegetable.
Give me that deep dish. Now that is a different pizza that stands out.
New York
There you
style.
go. I mean, I agree.
Shut the fuck up. New York style. Question 2. Actually, a pretty great answer, Philip, because question 2 is deep dish pizza actually pizza?
No, I don't think it is. No, deep dish pizza is a pie. That's a different thing.
Philip.
Well, at an atomic level, everything is the same as Mike the Fab was explaining. But yes, it is a pizza.
Incorrect. No, it's actually a casserole. Question 3.
Casserole, huh? Okay,
Favorite
yep.
toppings? Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already answered this question. I like pepperoni and nice spicy pepper, ideally. And I prefer cup and char pepperoni, the kind that kind of curls up and stores the grease and fat in the pool.
Great answer. Philip.
Extra cheese.
Oh, interesting. I'm a cup and char pep and banana peppers or olives kind of guy.
Olives are really good on pizza. Yeah. Mike and I are kindred spirits on pizza. We haven't really talked about it at all, but Mike and I eat pizza together, and we are always happy to get the same thing. We like the same kinds of things on our pizza.
Well, thank you guys for being here with me for this first ever Pizza Takes, and hopefully not the last, because it really inspired some crazy conversation.
I thought that was an incredible segment. Great idea.
And that's Pizza Takes. If you've got thoughts, counter arguments, or pizza opinions of your own, we want to hear them. Email us at ourherodeniro@gmail.com. We'll be back next Tuesday with a regular episode of Our Hero De Niro. Until then, thanks for listening.